Laynie, and how are you guys doing today? I hope you are having the best day ever. Really, I do. If you are new to my channel, let me start by saying welcome. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so much. Today, I thought we would just do a chatty get ready with me. It's been a pretty lazy day. Well, actually, it's been a pretty busy day. We did a lot of errands, but it's been a lazy day as in it's like 5 o'clock. I haven't put, is it 5 o'clock? What time is it? It's 4:15. I haven't really put on any makeup. I did put on concealer this morning and mascara in my brows, but I'm feeling like I need a little something because I am going out to play pickleball with some friends tonight. I haven't played pickleball since high school, so we will see how that goes. So we are just going to chat and get ready. I am starting with the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. Yes, I'm so excited for my giveaway. It's just taking longer to get everything together than I thought it would. You know, funds, making sure I have enough money to buy the things I want to, and waiting for shipping times. ColourPop is really taking a lot longer than usual, but they've rolled out some new products recently, so I'm sure that is a big reason why. We are gearing up to go on a trip here soon, so I'm really excited about that. My filming and uploading schedule will be a bit different over the next week or so from when I upload this video. That sounds about right. And I think week or so from when I upload this. So please bear with me. We are going to have ourselves a good time. That's all the information I'm going to give on that because I don't want to share details till after when I can actually share the video with you from our trip. That's so much better than just talking about it. But I'm super duper excited. We are taking a longer trip than we usually do, which is very exciting. My husband was recently gone for a month for work. Oh, I should tell you what I just used. The Fit Me Stick Foundation. It's really light on me. This is the porcelain. I did not get my shade right, if you can't tell, but nothing a little bronzer can't fix. This really is more my winter shade, but I don't know, I just felt like using it today because I don't reach for it very often. But anyways, my husband was gone for a whole month for work, a whole month. We really try not to be apart for that long because that is really long. Like the first 2 weeks are always like, I'm fine, this is no big deal, it's gonna go by so fast. And then after the 2 weeks, I'm like, this is taking forever. I'm so bored. I miss him. And so when he got home, our dog was so excited. When he showed up with flowers, I was like, dang, he really did miss me big time because that is so out of character for him. I thought it was so sweet. It was cute. He got down on the ground so the dog could sniff him and love on him. And the dog was sniffing the flowers. And I was like, bud, those aren't for you. I'm using my Real Technique sponge that I just switched over to in my Chatty Raisin Water to dampen it. I washed all my brushes last night. Isn't it like the best thing when you have clean brushes? I love it. And I'm just going to buff out my Kat Von D Cream Concealer under the eyes. I'm going for a really, really natural look on the skin. But I think I'm going to go for more of a bold eye because why not? Why not? Trying to use up this cream concealer. Is there anything new and exciting in your guys' life? Any last minute vacation plans coming up? I am so excited that the episodes of Shameless are now finally on Netflix. Was so tired of waiting. I feel like we watched something else relatively recently. Oh, we went and saw Kidnap with Halle Berry. You guys, that movie was amazing. I won't give away any spoilers because I hate people who give away parts of movies, but it was so freaking good. Like, I thought it looked good in the previews, but dang, it was so good. Like, edge of your seat, freaking out, feel like you're there. I am that weirdo though that is like in the movie theater, like I feel like I'm there. I'll never forget when Castaway came out with Tom Hanks when I was little. We went to see it in theaters. My whole family was so excited for it. That was like a big movie release. And the part where the plane goes down and he's underwater in the plane, I'm holding my breath, and I remember I couldn't hold my breath long enough. I'm like, and I was thinking, oh no, I never make it. So yes, I'm that weirdo that totally feels like I'm there in the movie. So if like something pops out, I'm like, ah! I want to go see Dunkirk. That looks really good. Baby Driver looks really good. I feel like right now is a really good time for movies. I feel like there's kind of a lull for a while with movies. There was none that I was really excited for. But in the previews before Kidnap, there was what looks like a lot of good movies and a lot of scary movies. Can you guys do scary movies? I cannot do scary movies. Growing up, obsessed with scary movies. Loved it. They were my favorite. Even through high school, now that I'm like an adult, I can't do it. Freaks me out, gives me anxiety. Can't do it. No. I think it's because I'm like, no, scary stuff happens in real life. Like when you're young, you don't think anything scary happens. And now I'm like, scary stuff happens. Yeah, I don't want to watch it. Don't want to watch it. That is not entertaining to me. Suspense. Love suspense movies like Edge of Your Seat. Do not like scary movies anymore. Like stuff about haunting. Oh no. Nope. I'm so bad at this. I'm just talking. I'm not telling you what I used. I used Unique Setting Powder, which I love. It is my favorite setting powder ever. Under the eyes, and then I set the rest of my face with my Unique Foundation. I'm in the shade Velour. I was going to use this NYX Under Eye Concealer and forgot. Totally forgot. I'm going in with my Unique Beachfront Bronzer to now give me some color back in this face. Speaking of scary movies, I look like a ghost. Do you guys believe in like scary stuff? Like, do you think that stuff's real? Because I would be totally lying if I told you I didn't. I totally believe in ghosts and hauntings. I do. Like, I don't think they're as common as maybe movies make it seem or like things on the internet make it seem, but I definitely think stuff is real. I have actually experienced some stuff. I'm trying to think of like, I have experienced some stuff. So my friend bought a place when we were in college, and it wasn't like your typical like haunted building, like what you would think of haunted. It wasn't super old. It was actually a townhouse. So usually you think of like some big Victorian home out in the middle of nowhere, haunted. Nope. But a lot of the scariest stuff, honestly, I've ever had happen in my life happened there. My friend told me that she had stuff happen. She was really embarrassed to tell me at first because she thought I was going to think she was crazy. And finally one night she was like, so scary stuff happens like when I'm here by myself and it's getting worse and starting to scare me. And I was like, hold up, like what's going on? And so she started telling me about stuff that happened to her. And then one night we were all there just hanging out. We were actually Skyping her older brother, and Tony and his friend were downstairs, and Tony hollers up and says, Laynie, turn down the music. And I'm like, the music? We're not listening to music. What are you talking about? And he goes, turn down the music. I'm like, we're not listening to music. And so apparently, now I didn't see this part because like I said, I was upstairs. He was like, he told his friend, hey, go turn off the radio. I think it's on. She had a little radio next to her TV. And he gets up to turn it off. And right when he gets almost to the button, he's like going to turn it off, and it just stops. Turns off by itself. And so like, okay, that's kind of weird, but like maybe it's on a timer. They look, and the freaking radio is unplugged. Unplugged. It's not even plugged in. Yeah. So that was weird. Another time, that time she was telling me about the scary stuff happening, we were laying in her bed, I was staying the night, and we're just talking, and she's like, it's getting worse, like the scary stuff. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, I feel something lay in bed with me at night. You what? Huh? Yeah. Talk about my literal worst nightmare. I'd move. I'd be like, I'm done. Forget it. I'm out. See ya. Peace. She goes, yeah, I feel something lay in bed with me at night, and it really scares me. Really scares you? I would have had a freaking heart attack. No joke. Legitimately would have died right then and there. It would have been over. I don't do well with stuff like that. And so at that exact moment, I felt the weight of a human being sit on top of my legs. I pull my legs up to my chest so fast. I'm like, oh my God, I feel something sit on my legs. And she was like, oh no, I just moved the sheet, trying to calm me down. I'm like, no, I felt it was the weight of a human being sitting on my legs. I was like, I'm done. I'm not staying the night ever again. Nope. And then another time, my friend who owned the place and another friend were up watching a movie and we were watching the movie Burlesque with Christina Aguilera, so not a scary movie, like nothing to like make us all creeped out. Have I told you guys anything I've just done? I'm so immersed in my story, I don't think I have. So I used Urban Decay Eye Primer. I will link everything down below for you guys because obviously if you haven't caught up yet, I'm going to forget to tell you. So I'm using that same Beachfront bronzer to set my crease. I've really been enjoying this lately. I've been doing this a lot on the day-to-day. It just gives a really pretty, slightly warm, natural crease tone. I really like it. This is in the color Malibu. Now I got that Miley Cyrus song stuck in my head. So anyway, so we're watching Burlesque, and we had heard what sounded like bare feet walking through her kitchen, which was a tile floor. And if you've ever heard someone like walk kind of slapping their feet on a tile floor, it's a pretty distinct sound. Yeah, we all were like, huh, what's that? So we all got up, walked around, made sure no one was like in the place. Nothing, no one, okay, whatever. Like, okay, we're hearing things. And then after the movie, it was getting kind of late, and sometimes at night, you know, those things come up on TVs, it's like, this is a test, and it makes like a noise, like an emergency broadcast test. Well, we're sitting there, going into my Kat Von D Metal Matte Palette. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. So, we're sitting there in her living room, which had a very distinct color pattern, like with the curtains and the pillows on the couch, and so the test happens on the TV. Next thing you know, when it comes back to go back to TLC, which is what we were watching, like a home fixer-up show, half of it is, the screen is black, the other half is her living room with the three of us sitting in it. It was just like a flash, so fast. All three of us screamed. My friend jumped onto my lap and goes, what the bleep was that? I mean, we all saw it, we all knew it was us, it was so scary. My dad actually came over to her place a few days later and like checked the vents to make sure there was no camera because we were all so creeped out. Yeah, I mean, there's even more stuff that has happened, but that is like what sticks out in my head. So yeah, I do believe in spooky stuff happening, and not a fan. Not a fan. Said I'm going bold. I'm going bold on this look. Have you guys ever had anything like supernatural happen? Oh, that was enough for me. I'm done. Thank you, though. I was talking to the same friend who has now moved, thank God. And she has been going to so many concerts this summer. I'm so jelly. I realized that my husband and I never go to concerts. Like, talking to her, I was like, wow, we don't ever go to concerts. Like, the last concert I went to was over Christmas time. Like, dang, it's just not something for, like, I totally love music. I'm a music lover, total music lover. But for being a music lover, I'm like, how do I never go to concerts? I just don't even think of it. Also, I think part of it is the price. It's really expensive. I mean, we live really close to a concert hall. I don't know why we don't go. We should. Now I'm blending out with my translucent powder. If you want to see my little tips and tricks on how to blend like a pro, I will link one of my last videos down below for you guys. Yeah, so I'm like, dang, we need to start going to more concerts. My hubby's work schedule is really crazy, and mine can be really crazy at times too, like really sporadic on the timing. So it's like kind of hard to plan stuff in advance. I think that's also part of it, but the price is definitely part of it. It's very expensive to go to concerts on a regular basis. She got these really cool, she does not live anywhere near here, but she got these really cool summer pass where it like gets you into a bunch of different concerts. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, if you knew you were going to be available often to go to these events, like that would be the way to do it. Have you guys ever done like the country concert summer packages or any concert packages like that? Speaking of concert packages, something that has truly been bugging me now for several weeks, I am so distraught over Chester Bennington committing suicide. I don't know if you guys follow me on Snapchat. I did talk a little bit about it on Snapchat, but I was such a huge Linkin Park fan, especially when I was in junior high and high school. They got me through some of the worst times in my life. I mean, I've always been a really happy-go-lucky person, but I definitely had a lot of baggage when I was younger over losing my mom at a young age. And their music just spoke to me so much. And like when I was feeling down or angry, I could just listen to their music and I felt like someone understood what I was going through. I mean, I was in the fan club and everything. And then when I got into like late high school and college, I kind of got away from it. I started going back to more of my pop roots. I've always been like a big pop fan, which they kind of intersect all different types of music. But I just kind of got away from them, and I feel like they kind of, I don't want to say died out, because as a diehard Hanson fan, I don't believe a lot of bands die out for a lot of people. But from the stations I was listening to, they weren't on there as much. So I kind of got away from them. And then that one of their last songs, Heavy, I started hearing on the radio again and just fell in love with it. And when I heard the news about him committing suicide, I still am going back and watching all these interviews with him. And suicide is one of the hardest things. If you've ever dealt with it, which my family has dealt with it from a family member. I have a good friend who has dealt with it from her family member. So even outside of the celebrity realm, when you've dealt with suicide, it's such a hard thing to understand. Like, you just can't come to terms with it. And it's like whenever I'm watching these interviews with Chester, I'm like, why? Like, why? He was such a nice, down-to-earth, spunky, happy on the external, but also very open about his struggles. So, I mean, if you've watched anything of him, it's not shocking that he's battled depression, he's battled these problems. But it's just like, you just keep thinking, why? Like, why wasn't there something that could pull you back to reality and out of your own head? But that's the thing that I think is so sad about depression. Whenever I talk to anyone who's like, depression is the coward's way out, or depression is this, or depression is that, I'm like, can you truly, like, I've been down, I've been out, I've been depressed, and I think we've all, like, in some time of our life, dealt with something that makes us want to, like, disappear for a little bit, but never forever. I've never, ever wanted to not experience life. And so I'm like, when people are so harsh about suicide, I'm like, can you truly imagine being so low, so down, that you honestly think it is better not to be here? That is better for your family, that it's better for your friends, that it's better for your loved ones? I mean, it hurts so bad to think about someone being that low. And so I got on Snapchat after I found out, and I was just like, and I want to say this now to you guys too, you are never alone. You can feel so alone. I've been battling that lately because we're not from this area. We don't have a tight-knit friend group. We don't have our family here. So, like, I've been there. I've been feeling where you're like, feel like you're out on an island. You're by yourself. You're at this alone. But you are never alone. There is always someone out there who cares about you. There is always someone out there who realizes how special you are. And if you are somehow truly not around anybody who gets how special you are, look inside yourself and realize how special you truly are and how the world is a better place with you. Like, you are making a difference somehow, some way in this whole crazy thing called life. Like, you are making a difference. You are never alone. I highly urge anybody who's battling, I'm using Rex from ColourPop, if you are truly battling those feelings, please reach out to the Suicide Prevention Hotline. I'm going to put the phone number down below in the link. They have a chat even available if you're not comfortable talking to someone on the phone. There is an instant messenger you can go to. Please go there, because you are special and you are needed in this world. I mean, seriously. So, I mean, suicide is just one of those things that is so hard to wrap your head around. It's so sad, and it's like I'm hurting for him, I'm hurting for his family. I mean, I don't even know the guy. I mean, that's the crazy thing, is like, I don't even know the guy, but like, when I listen to the song Heavy now, I want to cry. When I watch his interviews, I want to cry. When I look at his wife's Twitter page, I want to cry. For the first, like, week and a half, I went to his Twitter page every day, like Chester's page almost every day, just like hoping that maybe it's not true, like he'll post something new. And it's just so sad that his life ended so soon. And it's so sad that it was self-inflicted, because I just can't imagine being so down and out. It's really sad. So if you're ever having those thoughts, please, I've got the info below. Reach out to someone, reach out to a professional who can help you. There's always someone there to help you. You are not alone. Speaking of the internet, I do feel like that's one thing that brings on so much depression now. Definitely, I believe the fear of missing out is real. You're always seeing people having so much fun and doing this and that. Yeah, well, you don't really know what happens behind closed doors. You have no idea what really goes on in their life. And I think especially like in the beauty world with beauty influencers, you see these people who live these perfect lives. So even I struggle with that sometimes. Like, I want people to see my best face forward. Obviously, you do with your, internet presence. But I also want to keep my channel really real, keep my Snapchat more real. I want people to know that, like, I don't live in a fancy house. I don't have even a working car right now. We are waiting till our student loans are done in hopefully October to then look into getting a car. So it's like, I don't want anyone to think my life is perfect. It's not. No one's life is perfect. I don't care if you're Jaclyn Hill. I don't care if you're Desi Perkins. I don't care if you're Tati. No one's life is perfect. All of that is surface level stuff that you see on Snapchat. Their life's not perfect. I have to remind myself that. I get jealous when I see those PR unboxings. Like, I'm so happy for them. Like, half of me is so freaking happy for them that they've got there, they've done that. And the other half of me is like, oh, jealous. Like, I wish I didn't have to spend my money on new products to try out. I wish that I could get that for free. But then the other part of me is like, dang, what do they do with all those products? Like, I feel like I'm getting too many products, and I have, like, a tenth of what they get in one, shipment. So it's like, it is easy to get down on yourself looking at social media. It's so easy. Guilty of it. Done it before. Really trying to get better about that. Just realizing it's the internet. I think one thing that also has been bugging me on the internet, I love reading comments and like controversial articles or whatever. Some of them really crack me up, the comments. Sometimes I just like to get other people's input by reading the comments. Sometimes I want to laugh by reading the comments. But I feel like there's so much negativity out there now. Sometimes I just think to myself, like, dang, how did we get here? How did we get to where it's like not okay to disagree? I'm all about like freedom of thought, freedom of opinion. I don't want everyone to think like me. I don't want to think like everybody else. I think you have the right to your opinion, and we don't have to agree. That's okay, as long as you will respectfully listen to my side, and I will respectfully listen to yours. Hey, if we don't agree, even if we can't meet in the middle, whatever, that's fine. You have that right. And I think that's the beautiful thing about living in America is like, we have the right to not agree with each other all the time. I think it's awesome. I really do. Dang, there's so many people in these comments sorry, my dog is mad. I'm sure he sees a bunny outside. When I see all these people being mean to each other, like, not just disagreeing, but like tearing each other apart. I've been noticing lately so many people, when they don't agree, they like go to the other person's profile that they don't even know, and they'll like screenshot their profile and be like, oh, I see you and your fat wife. Seriously, like, that's a real thing I've read. I'm not just making that up. I'm like, first of all, who has the time to do that? And why? Why? It's just an opinion. Move on. Even on here, sometimes I've gotten comments that aren't what I'd call nice. I value constructive criticism. I've gotten comments that you can pick up a tone to. But that's also the tricky thing about the internet. Is there a tone there, or am I picking up a tone that's not even there? That's the hard thing. So the internet, I love it because it's so neat for things like this, like connecting with others, getting to know people, keeping up with family you don't live by. All of that is really cool. But then some parts of the internet are just like a scary, mean place. And I'm like, why? I don't know. I feel like I've gotten off on a tangent, but I just wanted to share that. I think that is another reason people are getting down and out. I think it's the fear of missing out. I think it's being jealous of one another. I think it's of the internet. There's not that, I guess what it boils down to, on the internet, there's not that face-to-face. Like, if those two people who were getting in a battle on Facebook using personal attacks, if they were face-to-face, they probably would have been like, you know what, I don't agree with you, and turned around and walked away. They would have never been like, your wife's fat, so blah, 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 blah. But on the internet, it is so easy to say mean things to someone else and not worry about it because they're not in front of you. And I'm like, that's sad. Why are people mean? Don't be mean, guys. For today's look, I said I wanted to go bold, and I'm feeling pretty bold. A lot of times I want my looks to be like really perfect and like precise and together and whatever. Today I feel like being a little edgy, a little not so perfect, a little avant-garde. I don't know if that term is really correct for this, but it feels right. So And I've got coffee. That's all that matters. I don't wear blue that often, but I've been liking blue and green, and I haven't liked those colors for a long time, and now I'm kind of getting into them. I will say, using my Milani Luminoso blush. But yeah, oh, I know, I got the iPhone 7 today. So I was a little disappointed. I should have asked this when I was at Verizon. I don't know why I didn't. The guy was super helpful. He would have told me. I thought the portrait feature was on both. I didn't pay any attention to what the camera looks like. I get home, I realize it's only on the 7 Plus. I was like so bent out of shape about it at first. My husband was like, I'm sure we could exchange it if you really wanted the portrait. But then I started reading about it and I'm like, yeah, the portrait sounds really cool, but I have this nice camera, so. And also, other than that, does anyone else, okay, maybe I'm like the only one. I feel like I'm probably one of the only ones. I don't like how big the Plus iPhones are. Because I'm like, I need it to fit in my purse. My purse isn't that big. I might want it to fit in my pocket. Like, I don't want a big... If I wanted that big of a phone, why don't I carry around an iPad? That's just my thoughts on that. You guys can disagree with me, and I won't leave mean comments to you. So, if you disagree, let me know. That's okay. But I just don't like how big the Plus is. I like the size of the regular. But I do wish they'd put the portrait feature on the regulars. But I'm so excited. So my husband has not had a phone for probably 6 months besides his work phone, because I may have accidentally washed it in the washing machine. Whoops. I'm like pulling the laundry out and there's his phone. I'm like, we had it in a life-proof case. Wasn't so life-proof. And then, you know, the guy who sold us the life-proof case told us like, oh, they'll get you a new phone. I guess that's not really true. So this time I gave him my old iPhone 6. I got the iPhone 7. I already have an outer box on his. The funny thing is it's rose gold, but at least my outer box is black, so you can't tell. And I've got a pop socket on there that's definitely girly. And he's like, oh no, I don't mind it. If you're fine with it, I'm fine with it. I might get him one for Christmas. A stocking stuffer. So he has not had a phone for like 6 months because he kept saying, oh, I'm going to go get a new one. Oh, I'm going to go activate one of our old ones. And he gets so busy with work and then he wouldn't do it. We're getting ready to take this trip. So I was like, you don't want to take your work phone with you. I know you don't, because then you'll be tempted to look at emails. You'll be tempted to see what's going on, if anyone needs anything. So I was like, why don't we just go see how much longer I have on my phone before it's paid off? And then, I know a lot of people don't like my nose highlighter, but y'all, I love it. I ain't even mad, and I don't even care. I just love it. It's so cute when your nose glows like that. This is the... I don't even know what it's called. I got it in BoxyCharm. Oh, it's Winky Luxe. I really like it. I got my eyebrows done yesterday, and I feel like they went a little thin. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of like fuller brows. Should I put a little blue eyeshadow under the eyes? Yeah, why not? Why not? I think for lips, I'm going to use my Makeup Geek in Naive, which is a really pretty, like, peachy nude. I'm going to go so casual on the bottom half and so, like, overdone on the top half to pickleball. Sorry, I had to have my camera cool down for a little bit. I did go ahead and put some of this Rimmel Scandalous on my lower waterline because I felt like my eyes were looking a little funny and kind of red with the blue in contrast. And then I did put a little blue eyeshadow under the lower lash line to buff out the eyeliner. Now it's time to put on more mascara. I did have some on this morning, but I want a little more va-va-voom since I have such a bold eye. I have been obsessed and loving the new Unique Epic Mascara. It's so good. I've also been using their new Lash Growth formula, and I seriously... Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have high hopes because I was like, oh, can something like that really help your lashes grow? I don't really understand how stuff like that works, but I was like, dang, the lashes had broken off really badly and were not the same length as this eye, and these have totally, like, caught up, which is huge for me. And before I got my eyes done, I was actually using my eyebrows. Wand is nice. It does a really good job of rolling the lash. Like, I never curl my lashes, but I really like how this makes them look really nice and curled. Like, using this, I now understand why people curl their lashes, because it does look really good. So, I hope you guys had fun hanging out with me. I seriously had so much fun. Please, like, comment below with any stories you'd like to share, or things you want me to know about you, because I love getting to know you guys. That's seriously the best part of having YouTube. Follow me on Snapchat. Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, all 3 places. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.